Today I'm going to tell you guys how I sold $3,000 on TikTok shop from nothing. No followers, practically nothing. 37 followers is what I started with. Let me tell you who I am. I'm a math teacher by trade. I have a bachelor's in business marketing. I have a master's in business administration, and I'm a big Pokemon fan. My personal goals is, if possible, I would love to make this my full-time gig, but as of right now, what I would really love to do is be a production manager. I loved manufacturing. I won an award while I was doing my master's, doing a manufacturing contest against other universities. Why this video? This video is intended for anyone who has less than 50 followers, who's starting off with less than $5,000 in inventory, who wants to do a business startup, and what you need and what the recommendations are. There are a lot of content creators out there that would benefit you a lot. And I think what's missing though is that they might not necessarily give you the two-day experience, because they might have started off 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, or even some of them 10 years ago, where they started selling Pokemon cards, but the information that they give you is currently at a bigger scale since they've been doing it for so long. Their profit margins can be smaller. They have a bigger scale. They have more time because that is their full-time gig. So the tips that they sometimes provide, or the advice that they sometimes provide, is more targeted towards people that are already doing that thing or that process, right? Comparatively to someone who, for example, me, myself, who I started with less than 50 followers. I started with less than $5,000 of inventory. So it really depends. Now, it doesn't mean that they themselves have not provided this information. Looking at these guys, all of these content creators have provided information of what to do if you have 0 followers, each and every single one of them. The hard part is that you kind of have to go ahead and find it from watching all of their videos and being able to put it all together and digest it all together and understand that information. Catch them all: Collectibles, RNG Games, Pokémon, Danny Phantom, CNA Games. All of them are really, really good to go ahead and consume a lot of information before you start off. They've all been doing this for a very long time, and I highly recommend you watch each and every one of them, simply because they're all going to give you a lot of information that I myself cannot give you. I do not have an English distributor. I do not have a massive amount of inventory, but they themselves have been doing it for a while. They themselves are more knowledgeable than I am. Again, this video is for anyone that is completely starting off from scratch and wanting to understand what would someone do today, this very moment. And I'm giving you that experience and that expertise coming from someone that is a fanatic of business and a fanatic of Pokemon. Let's go ahead and go over my starting point. On TikTok, I had 37 followers. My store, I had 0 customers, 415 subs on YouTube, 11 followers on Instagram, and I had about a $2.8 thousand inventory. I will completely admit to you, I bought all my inventory on my credit card. Is it stupid? 100% stupid, by the way. I literally would not recommend anyone to do this. I'm just a radical, right? But if you were to ask me what you should do, I would probably save up money to be able to buy that inventory. I also just believe in myself so much of my success and so much of my capabilities. And I did take this tip from Pokémon, said, buy it on your credit card and pull it off. And I'm like, you know what? I do believe in myself. I do believe that I could pull it off on my credit card and pay it back. Within 7 days, I sold everything that I had. I believed in myself so much, but there's a lot of things that I'm going to tell you right now that I did and that I made sure that I had set up myself for success as well. So an example being, there's a lot of things that I already had on hand from selling on other platforms. I sold on Whatnot, I sold on TCG Player. So there was proof of concept from smaller things that I was doing. I was already selling on TCG Player. I already sold a smaller amount of things on Whatnot. So there was an idea and a proof of concept already in place and a confidence in myself to be able to succeed for a lot of these things. So my recommendation is that you have penny sleeves already, that you have top loaders, that you have a printer. A laser printer is my preference. I hate buying ink. I hate it. I detest it. The idea of having to buy ink over and over every single month, it's a trash idea of wanting to deal with anything ink. I really didn't want to deal with it. I bought a label printer and I bought bubble mailers. I bought almost everything here on Amazon. Why Pokemon cards? So a lot of people are asking me, why Pokemon cards? The demand is very high. This image right here shows you that nearly everything is TCG. One Piece is included as well. But nearly everything on TikTok shop right now is selling like crazy that is Pokemon. If you see right here, this is also including random things, just in general or generic things. things are obviously still selling on TikTok Shop, but if you're thinking about the search volume, the availability of this, it is insane how many people on TikTok want to buy cards, but they themselves are just looking around and trying to see who they want to buy cards from. To say you can't sell or you're not capable of selling is very poorly thought out. The reason I say that is because the top creators on YouTube have on average about less than 200,000 subscribers. Think about that. Most of the top and the pivotal creators on YouTube for Pokemon have less than 250,000 subscribers. Think about anyone that is a big YouTuber, quote unquote, and you would naturally assume anyone that has over 250,000 subscribers is a big YouTuber. But a lot of YouTubers that have less than even 10,000 subscribers are making six figures selling Pokemon cards. Less than 10,000 subscribers. Think about that. So the average creator following is very low. That means the Pokemon community is open to small creators. That's what it means. Because if everybody is a small creator, that means you yourself are in the same ball game as everybody else. No one is 250,000 subscribers, Minecraft YouTubers and stuff like that, where it's super, super, super congested with a bunch of Minecraft players and stuff like that. Be aware, you can easily make six figures selling Pokemon cards without having 10,000 subscribers. And that is absurd and that is crazy, but it is a very realistic thing that can happen. Ask me anything. I wanted to go ahead and say that if you leave a comment here, I will try to do a 15-minute call with as many people as I can, because a lot of people, as I've acknowledged, me, myself included, we tend to have an idea of like, I don't want to do something unless I'm given specific advice of my specific problem. So that's the reason that I go back to all these creators where each one of them answered a specific question for me that I'm now able to go ahead and answer. Each one of them answers different things and each one of them will give you different answers to different questions. But each one of them has really, really good advice. And that's how I was able to get to this point where I'm a small creator, but I just sold $3,000 in 7 days. And that is beyond insane, by the way. It is insane to everybody. I posted it on Facebook. People were surprised. They're like, what the hell? I'm sharing it to my family. And my mom's like, yo, can I come over and can you show me how to do this? Because everybody is so impressed that you can do this with less than 100 followers on TikTok. It literally, you just have to be there. It's super doable for everybody. And I'm willing to give that advice simply because I know that the pie is big enough. You're not really going to compete against me. I am competing against everybody else. But notice that even me, a small creator who came out of nowhere, you can think about it like that, right? And people are like, wow, I'll buy from you. Sure. So think about it like that. It's super doable for everybody. If you want to sell Pokemon cards, it's super doable for you. And I'm here to help out because I'm a small creator. I don't have as many followers. So yeah, let's do that 15-minute call. Am I going to sell you anything? Of course not. I don't have a Patreon. My girlfriend was telling me to make one, but if no one gives a shit about me doing these 15-minute calls, why would I bother making a Patreon? So no Patreon. If this gets beyond crazy, then I'll make a Patreon. Moving on. Now, understanding the TikTok shop. What marketings are beneficial, provided the opportunity to go live, flash sales, free shipping, TikTok funded, 3% taken by TikTok for starters, and 6% later. Let's go ahead and digest it. I made a lot of money from flash sales, and I made a lot of money from free shipping. A buttload of money can be made here. Being a new creator, you have to be very competitive with your prices. Your prices have to be some of the best in the market. So do be aware, if you are selling, try to be the best prices in the market. Your profit margin is going to be really low. That is okay. And that is okay because you are starting off. You have to be comfortable making literally almost no money in the beginning because your prices have to be competitive. If your prices aren't competitive, it's trash. Another thing, the reason you're constantly doing flash sales, if you're not opening packs constantly, it's boring as shit, bro. It really is. Like if you're not really good at storytelling, if you're just trying to sell things to people and you're not creating stories, you're just going to struggle. You really are. You have to constantly be making sure that you are selling as much as possible. Be okay taking a loss here and there, but make sure that you're not doing, this is something that I saw and I thought it was not a good idea. Do not sell $1 packs if the pack is $5. Do not. Just do not. Do not sell one individual pack for $1 because I saw someone do this and I thought it was a really bad strategy, because now you're kind of incentivizing the viewer to wait around for $1 pack. Why would you? Like, that's just, and you're just going to sell one pack for $1, then I'm just going to sit here and wait. Like, I'm not going to buy a $5 pack, because as soon as you sell that one pack for $1, now I have to buy it from you for $5. No, like, I just, it's not going to happen. And it's one of those things. That's my strategy. That's my idea. That's my concept. I do not recommend selling packs for $1, because then you are making this huge gap. You're creating this huge gap between your ideal pricing and the pricing that your customers are willing to buy. You then motivate your buyers to wait for you to give them that price, instead of motivating them to possibly become your first customers. Notice also that by only giving one pack, you are only getting that one new customer. You are only getting one new customer. Think about it like that. Every time you create a flash sale, every time you offer free shipping, you get a new customer. First time buyers become repeat buyers. Notice what I mentioned that in flash sales. But be aware, if you are only giving these flash sales to one individual person, you are not gaining a lot of customers. You're gaining one customer at a time. These flash sales have to be broad, and they have to be possible for as many people as possible, because that way you can have as many first-time buyers. If you only have one first-time buyer and they got one pack, like, it doesn't benefit them. Plus, if they don't even get free shipping, why would they buy more if they already bought that pack and like they're chilling? Like, why buy more? So do be aware and do be cautious. It is very important to think about how your price is reasonable to you, but also reasonable to as many people as possible. Do not just do individual sales, because your idea is to try to get as many first-time buyers as you possibly can, because that way they themselves are satisfied with the pricing or with the offer that you're offering them, even if it is at a loss for you. Think about it like this. Would you pay $1,000 in ads? Yes, because it's awesome. Great ads. Now, would you be comfortable losing $1,000 in your profit margin? Think about it. Would you be comfortable losing $1,000 in profit margin? And notice that your brain automatically says a little bit of no, but if you think about it, it's the same thing as if you were to create ads for $1,000. It's the exact same thing. It really, really is. So do be aware, be very conscious. Another thing, 3% is taken by TikTok for starters. The first 60 days, I believe, you are only going to be charged by TikTok for 30%. That is insanely, insanely good. That means your barrier of entry is a lot smaller. The first 2 months, or the first 150,000 profit, I think it's really, really good. And it's really beneficial for you. Is my goal to only sell on TikTok forever? Of course not. I do not want to sell on TikTok forever. I know myself, I'm going to get bored of rip and ships. I know that. I know I'm going to get bored. I really know that. And I would like to move on to becoming a website owner only, instead of just doing rip and ships and then becoming a website owner. So that's the idea. Go from rip and ships and then to becoming a website owner. That is my objective and that is my goal. And a lot of the content creators that I showed you before would even give you that advice as well. My first sales, how did I do it? Streaming at 4 a.m. No for reals. Avoid peak hours if you have a small following and 0 reviews. If you stream between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., I swear you are gonna lose it. You are gonna lose it. You're gonna hate it. You have to wake up early. People were asking me, they were coming into my chat during my stream. Well, I had 60 viewers, by the way. I had 60 viewers watching me on real time at 6 in the morning, because I woke up at 4 a.m. My stream had already started since 4:30 in the morning, or 4 a.m. sometimes. And that is how much I needed it to succeed. That is how much effort I knew that I had to put in. It's not competitive at 4 a.m. So a lot of your viewers don't have a lot of options. They don't have these big content creators that can wake up whenever they want. They have you right now. So sell it to them. They want Pokemon cards at this hour. They're still awake, or they barely just got up at 4 a.m. or 6 p.m. if they're living on East Coast, and they haven't slept if they're on West Coast. So be aware. 4 a.m. is a great time to sell. It's a great, great, great time to sell, because there's not a lot of competition. You have to consider your competition. If you have 0 followers, flat out 0 followers, who do you think is going to show up to your stream at peak hours between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. and buy from you? Be honest with yourself. Not a lot of people. You have to wake up super early. You have to be up. Now, why am I giving you this advice? That's going to ruin it for me. I can guarantee you 95% of the people that watch this video, even 99% of the people that watch this video will not wake up at 4 a.m. after watching this. They won't. They just won't. They don't have the mentality to do it. They don't have the willingness to do it. It's really hard. It really is. When you have a full-time job, when I still have to go to work after doing the stream, it's hard. It really is. It's mentally taxing. During 4 a.m., you're not going to have a lot of competition. That is the best time to stream. It is the perfect time to be online, and it is a perfect time for people to buy from you because that's when they feel comfortable buying from you. You're going to have too much competition between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. This is the best advice. Out of anything that you see in this video, this is the best advice I can give you. Try to avoid competition as much as possible if you want to sell on TikTok. Moving on. How much did each box cost me? $105, and each pack was about $3.53. People are gonna watch this and think I'm a complete liar, but I really am not. New expansion is what I was trying to sell. It's easier to flip something that's new instead of flipping something that's old. You kind of just have to. You want to get something new to get people through the door. And then that's what they want. They want something new. They're going to pass by you if you have something old because they can easily get it or have access to it anywhere else. Something new is a little bit harder to get access to, or it's simply not available everywhere else. So they'll buy from you. That's the idea behind it. And that's the marketing idea behind it. If I have something new, you're more likely to buy it. You can also go to TCG Player and you can see how many sales are being done per expansion or per booster box. All the information is available to you. It really is. And if you notice, new expansions sell so many items, so much, in so much volume. It's the same thing on TikTok. I was okay to take a loss here because I overpaid for these. $105 per booster box is crazy. And some of these booster box I sold for $70. Super, super, super cheap. But that in itself are my marketing ads, and that in myself is like, I'm okay with giving someone that huge discount, even though it's a loss to me, because now they're a customer, and now they're like, if they're happy, I'm happy, because that means that when I have better prices, they're more likely to buy from me because now they've already had that experience buying from me. I'm a radical. I bought this at super high prices. I bought this when it just came out. First week, I bought, right? The idea behind it was also to show proof of concept. I had already been selling on Whatnot. It was already succeeding and it was super doable. I had made about $200 on Whatnot, and Whatnot doubles you $150. So that was really cool. So there was proof of concept that I could sell online, but I wanted proof of concept that I can sell on TikTok. So I doubled down and I went for it and I made that investment, and that's how much each booster box cost me. That's how much each pack cost me. The prices I had on TikTok was more than this. People will call you a scalper. People will walk in and say like, you're a piece of shit. Guys, they can believe you or they cannot. Like, it's up to them. It really is. It really, really, really is. You cannot stop that from happening. You really cannot. I cannot stop the fact that I'm showing you exactly how much I paid for something. Well, look at my video and say you're a liar. I'm being as honest as I possibly can. This is how much it cost me. It is super overpriced for me. I paid way too much for this. I'm telling you that I paid too much for this. Am I always going to pay this amount for this? Of course not. I paid through PayPal to make sure that who I bought it from was legit. So I was willing to take, like I said, I was willing to be okay making, I put profit there, but it meant to be revenue. I was okay with making 80% revenue. I was okay with taking a loss. I really was. And you have to understand that there are certain things that you have to be comfortable with of losing money, but you also have to calculate everything as much as you can. Not everything can be calculated, but as much as you possibly can and realistically can is the goal. If you do not calculate everything, you will lose money here and there. And now you don't know why you're in the red. Why am I in the red? Where did I lose all that money? Where's that money going? Calculating everything is very, very important. Now, let's talk about revenue. How much did I make? We made a revenue of about $3,117 with 55 cents. The approximate profit is about $150 to $300. I'm going to be courteous here simply because you have to think about the penny sleeves that I paid for, the top loaders that I paid for. Now, again, people are going to watch this and they're going to think I'm lying. Guys, you're not going to make a lot of money when you're starting off. You really are not. Like, thinking that you're going to be super, super lucky is unrealistic. Did some people do it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. There's people out there that made so much money their first week. I'm not one of them. I really am not. Like, that's not who I was. I feel like I did a very realistic experience of what it would have been like compared to other people. There's some people who get super lucky. Think about people that blow up on YouTube, blow up on TikTok in like a week, instant, quick. That didn't happen for me. We had a very realistic growth. $3,000 is actually, to me, very fair. I think it's normal. I'm going to be I feel like it's normal. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong that it's not normal, but that's what I think it is. It might be normal. My stream time is about 17 hours. I am spending a lot of times doing my shipping. I spend about 14 hours. Now, this is about an average. I could be off I could be off less. I could have spent a little bit more time shipping, but I'm going to assume I spent about 2 hours a day shipping. My process was to stream at 4 a.m., go to work, drop off my shipments after work, and then come home and do more shipping and more packaging. So that's what I've been doing for the past week. My pay per hour, which I think is very important, and Catch 'em All Collectibles likes to point that out, and I'm a big fan of that. My hour pay was between $4.8 an hour to $9 an hour. But I do want to point out, I'm not even going to pay myself that. That's not even going to go to my pocket. It's going to go back into the business because we're $300 in profit. That means we're $300 more into buying more booster boxes. That's really what it's going to happen. That's something to think about. I can't believe I have to say this, but this was something that happened literally yesterday. Do not scam. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Be honest, be fair, be authentic. Today you made $500. Forever after, you made $0. There are people out there who will start selling Pokemon cards, open the winning card, and keep it. But why? Like, there's no point in keeping it. Like, there's no point in scamming someone. There really is not, when you can make so much more money being legit. You will make so much more money being legit. Trust me. If you want to pay super exorbitant prices, people will legitimately pay you $100 over MSRP in a legit way. You do not have to scam people because people are already legitimately willing to pay you above MSRP. They're willing to pay you market price for something. So for you to scam them is so unnecessary. It is okay. If someone is happy, if someone is willing to pay you $100 over MSRP for a product, more power to them. It's their money. It's not yours. For what I like to say on stream is that if you cannot afford it, do not buy it. Please do not buy it. Be responsible with your money. You should be responsible with your money. Do not buy off of me if you cannot afford it. That's something I like to say. Whatever you want to say in your stream, whatever you want to say on your live TikTok or your whatnot, that's totally fine. But that's just my opinion. I just don't want people to buy off of me when they cannot afford it. So be aware. Do not scam people. You do not need to. You do not have to. You benefit more from being a legitimate seller. Do not weigh your packs. Like, really do not. Just open the box on stream and then have it there. Okay? Like, do not weigh your packs. It's really not worth it. It is not worth it. People on TCG Player are weighing packs and selling them individually, and it is the shittiest thing you can do. Do not do that. It's not worth it. It really is not. They will make their few bucks right now, but like, it's just not worth it. If you learn to fish, you will be fed for your whole lifetime. Okay? Anyways, that was it. Good luck. Join the Discord for faster replies. Again, if you want to have a 15-minute conversation and ask me any questions, whether it be about Pokemon or whether it be just in general TikTok shop, please feel free to ask. Just leave a comment on this video and I will go ahead and try to answer as many people as possible, and I will try to go ahead and call as many people as possible. I will not sell you anything. If I sell you anything, it's because I made a Patreon page, but I will not sell you anything because I have like one person ask me, and that's chill, and we're chilling, and I just answer whatever questions you are. The pie is big enough. I don't have to sell you anything. I want to help people out as much as these other creators have helped me out. All these creators have helped me out. All of them. Without them knowing it, each one of them participated in my success. So this is me paying it forward. This is me paying it forward and me saying I will do those conversations that these other content creators do not have the time to do so. I'm here for it. Let me know. I will not sell you anything. You don't have to buy anything from me. You don't have to buy a single pack from me. I'm not going to make you buy a pack off of me. I just want to pay it forward because the Pokemon community has been so generous to me. I want to be generous to anyone that wants to be a legit business. a legit rip and ship on the Pokemon community. I do have a master's in business administration. So if you have any questions about your business and you want me to help out in the sense of anything else, I'm more than happy to answer those questions for a 15-minute call. And I will not charge you anything at all. So I'm paying it forward. Thank you everybody who supported me. Thank you anybody who bought from me. I did lose so much money on some of y'all's orders who got these boxes for $80, but I am so happy that you will get to experience these packs and these cards for a lot cheaper than I myself bought them for. But these are the legitimate prices. So thank you for buying from me. I really feel honored because I do not have a large following, and for you to have chosen to buy from me was more generous than I could have ever expected from the Pokemon community. And people have bought in packs for me to open for myself because they can acknowledge and see that I am a Pokemon fan, and I loved it. And what was weird though is that every pack that I opened, I ended up adding it to someone who wasn't so lucky and didn't get something of value, and I threw it in for them because I'm just paying it forward because they were generous enough to let me open packs, and I want to just pay it forward. The Pokemon community is super generous, and they will be generous to you if you are generous and authentic to them. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.